Superman, the original superhero, has long stood as the beacon of hope, justice, and morality. But as modern superheroes like Iron Man, Batman, and Deadpool emerge, it's easy to think that Superman has become outdated, a relic from an era when heroes were straightforward and perfect. Modern audiences seem to prefer characters with darker, more complex stories, making us question, does the world still need Superman, or is he just a symbol of nostalgia? Let's compare him with 10 of today's most popular heroes to see why Superman remains relevant. Number 1. Superman vs. Iron Man, the morally perfect hero versus the flawed genius. Iron Man, or Tony Stark, is a genius inventor with a billionaire's arrogance and a never-ending struggle with his own ego. His story is one of redemption and evolution. He goes from being a selfish, morally gray character to a hero who sacrifices himself for the greater good. In contrast, Superman is criticized for being the perfect, with unwavering morality and idealism. But here's the controversy. Superman's clarity of purpose and his refusal to compromise on his values are precisely what make him stand out. Iron Man's flaws make him relatable, but they also make him, at times, untrustworthy and inconsistent. Superman, on the other hand, remains unyielding in his commitment to doing right, even when it's inconvenient or unpopular. In an era where every hero seems to have a dark side, Superman's unshakable hope can be seen as a strength, not a weakness. Number 2. Superman vs. Batman, the uncomplicated idealist versus the cynical Dark Knight. Superman and Batman may share the same goal of saving the world, but their methods could not be more different. Batman thrives in the shadows, a dark reflection of the trauma he endured as a child. His journey is riddled with doubt, fear, and a sometimes twisted sense of justice. Superman, however, operates in the light, embodying hope and optimism. Here's where the controversy lies. Batman's fans often argue that his flaws make him a more complex, realistic hero, but in a world that's become obsessed with dark, gritty anti-heroes, doesn't Superman's unwavering goodness feel like a breath of fresh air? While Batman wallows in his trauma, Superman rises above his pain, choosing to be a force for good despite the odds. He doesn't need to be morally gray or tortured to be compelling. His steadfast belief in the goodness of humanity makes him uniquely heroic. 3. Superman vs. SpiderMan, the legacy of responsibility versus the weight of personal struggle. SpiderMan is perhaps the most beloved modern superhero, not because of his powers but because of his relatability. Peter Parker juggles school, work, and relationships while trying to save the world. His iconic line, "With great power comes great responsibility," resonates deeply with audiences, especially younger ones facing personal challenges. Superman, on the other hand, faces cosmic struggles and embodies responsibility on a grand scale. He's the protector of not just one city, but the entire world. Here's where things get controversial. Spider-Man's struggles are deeply human, making him more relatable to the everyday person. But Superman's grand responsibility represents something larger, a universal call to action that transcends personal issues. It's easy to sympathize with Spider-Man's small-scale problems, but does that make him a better hero? Or does Superman's larger-than-life duty to protect the world make him even more heroic, regardless of how distant he may feel? 4. Superman vs. Deadpool, the man of hope versus the chaotic anti-hero. Deadpool is arguably one of the most subversive characters in modern superhero storytelling. He's irreverent, unpredictable, and breaks all the rules, making him an anti-hero for the 21st century. Deadpool's humor, violence, and disregard for moral codes make him an attractive character to those who are tired of traditional superhero tropes. But here's the issue. While Deadpool's chaotic nature provides entertainment and relief, it also serves as a reflection of society's descent into cynicism. Superman's purity of purpose stands in stark contrast. He doesn't need humor or crudeness to get his point across. His strength lies in his conviction and his genuine desire to make the world a better place. In a world filled with jaded, disillusioned characters, Superman's unwavering idealism can be seen as naive, but also necessary. While Deadpool's popularity speaks to the modern hunger for unpredictability and chaos, Superman's constant optimism is more relevant than ever in a time when hope seems in short supply. Number 5. Superman vs. the Hulk, the control of power versus the chaos of rage. The Hulk represents raw, uncontrolled power. He's a force of nature, a hero driven by rage, and often causes more destruction than he intends to prevent. Superman, however, controls his power with a sense of responsibility and compassion. Hulk's character is about the struggle to control his inner beast, while Superman's character is about the constant battle to remain a symbol of hope, no matter how difficult things get. This contrast leads to a controversial question: is it more heroic to struggle with inner turmoil and rage like Hulk, or to maintain calm and composure in the face of unimaginable power? Some might argue that Hulk's inner conflict makes him more human, but Superman's ability to remain grounded and positive in the face of limitless power is arguably more heroic. Number 6. Superman vs. Wonder Woman, the warrior versus the protector. Wonder Woman, like Superman, is a powerful symbol of strength, justice, and leadership. But while Superman is more idealistic and often avoids violence, Wonder Woman has a warrior spirit, trained to fight for what's right. Here's the controversial part: Wonder Woman's more militant approach to justice stands in stark contrast to Superman's more passive, diplomatic methods. While both heroes fight for peace, Wonder Woman's readiness to battle can sometimes make her seem more proactive and immediate, but does this make her more effective? Superman's ability to inspire change without resorting to violence might be seen as more powerful in a world where conflict and war seem inevitable. Number 7. Superman vs. Thor, the god of thunder versus the alien hero. Thor, the Norse god of thunder, is a powerful figure from another realm, much like Superman is from Krypton. However, Thor's power comes from his divine heritage, while Superman's power is a result of his alien biology and the radiation of Earth's sun. Thor is often portrayed as a more conflicted hero, balancing his godly responsibilities with his human-like flaws. Superman, on the other hand, is often seen as the perfect and self-sacrificial. The controversy here lies in the question of relatability. Thor's human struggles make him more accessible, while Superman's godlike qualities can feel distant. But does this distance from human flaws make Superman a less relatable, but more aspirational hero? Number 8. Superman vs. Doctor Strange, the sorcerer's struggle versus the Kryptonian savior. Doctor Strange's journey is about mastering the mystic arts and understanding the vastness of the universe's potential. He grapples with personal loss, the burden of knowledge, and a duty to protect reality itself. Superman, in contrast, is driven by a simple, uncheckable desire to protect humanity. Doctor Strange's complexity comes from the weight of his understanding, while Superman's simplicity comes from his clarity of purpose. The question becomes, is it better to be a hero who struggles with knowledge and horror, like Doctor Strange, or one who relies on unwavering belief in what's right, like Superman? Number 9. Superman vs. Black Panther, the king versus the symbol of unity. Black Panther represents the intersection of heroism and leadership, ruling over the technologically advanced nation of Wakanda. His role as king gives him a different kind of responsibility compared to Superman, who acts as a global hero with no true home. Black Panther's story is about identity, legacy, and the challenge of leading a nation through difficult times. Superman, on the other hand, represents the idea that heroism transcends borders. He doesn't just protect one nation, but the entire world. The controversy here is in their differing approaches to heroism: Superman's global reach versus Black Panther's localized but equally powerful sense of responsibility to his people. Number 10. Superman vs. The Flash, the speed of hope versus the speed of time. The Flash is known for his incredible speed, often able to break the laws of physics and time. Superman, while also super fast, represents the ideal of unrelenting hope, always striving for the best in humanity. The controversy arises when we question whether speed alone can save the world or if it's Superman's constant moral resolve that ultimately makes him a hero. The Flash's time-bending abilities can sometimes complicate his narrative, while Superman's straightforward mission to protect Earth and its people remains his defining strength. Conclusion: why Superman is still relevant. In a world dominated by dark, flawed, and morally ambiguous heroes, Superman stands as a beacon of hope, clarity, and unwavering goodness. While characters like Iron Man, Batman, and Deadpool may dominate modern storytelling with their complexity and internal struggles, Superman's simplicity and steadfast commitment to doing right have never been more needed. He remains a symbol of what heroes should aspire to be: not perfect, but consistently good. Superman may not fit the modern mold of a hero, but his enduring legacy proves that sometimes the world needs hope more than it needs complexity.